Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Patnubay at gabay ng magulang ay kailangan sa mga batang manonood.
In a world driven by data, powered by connectivity, and defined by speed, nations either keep up or get left behind. The Philippines now stands at the critical digital crossroads. From bridging connectivity gaps to securing cyberspace, from streamlining government services to building a future-ready economy, the question is no longer if we transform, but how fast we can make it happen. But behind every system upgrade and every promise of innovation lies a deeper challenge. Can technology truly change the way government serves its people? And more importantly, is the system ready to change itself? My name is Ox Balyado, and this is The Game Changer. Today's conversation is with the man steering the nation's digital future, the driving force behind government innovation and connectivity. Department of Information and Communications Technology Secretary, ladies and gentlemen, Secretary Henry Ruel Aguda. Sir?
Good afternoon, good morning. All day tayo.
All day.
Ox. So, Ox, maraming salamat for inviting me here at saka doon sa mga nakikinig sa iyo ngayon. Hopefully, we have a very insightful conversation.
Yes, and of course, we're very happy to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Game Changer.
Thank you.
With the Game Changer himself.
Thank you.
All right, let's get the ball rolling, Secretary. Let's begin with the fundamentals. What is the core mandate of the DICT, and how should Filipinos feel its impact in their daily lives?
So, main mandate na binigay sa amin ni
Apo.
Presidente, talk about game changer. Siya talaga yung ultimate game changer.
Yes.
So, ang sabi niya, connectivity. Yan, dapat no Filipino left offline. So, whether mobile, fiber, o kaya satellite, dapat may konektadong Pinoy parate. Second, digital jobs. Kasi alam na naman natin, di ba, papunta tayo sa age of AI, ayaw ni Presidente maiwanan tayo.
Dapat handa tayo ron.
Trabaho. Tapos, cybersecurity, data privacy. Yan, kailangan natin yan. Dahil ngayon, connected ka nga, kung may scam ka naman, o kaya mananakaw yung identity mo, o kaya matutulakan ka ng fake news, wag naman, di ba? So, yung binabantayan namin. And fourth, sabi nga ni Presidente, dapat yung mga tao, lalo na yung publiko, hindi na pumipila sa government services. Dapat you can do government services anywhere, everywhere, 24 hours dapat. So yun
Right.
lang naman ang sabi ni Presidente na gawin namin.
Okay.
Yan.
Well, okay. The DICT was created to drive digital transformation
Yes.
across the country, as you mentioned, no? And years later, has the department fully lived up to that mandate? Are we still catching up?
So
Nandun na ba tayo sa puntong abot na? Or,
So
yeah.
timely yung tanong mo kasi every quarter naglalabas kami ng tinatawag namin na quarterly business review. O in our case, ano yung performance namin every quarter. So nag-submit na ako ng materials ko to the President. Ano nagawa ng DICT itong Q1. Now, hindi lang DICT to Ang DICT kasi sa ilalim niya, si ICC. Yan.
Yes.
Si ED Aboy.
Yes.
NTC, National Telecommunications, National Privacy Commission, NPC. Yung connectivity natin nag-improve. After konektadong Pinoy, mas mura, mas malawak, at mas mabilis na yung internet. Now, hindi ko pangungunahan yung report. Now,
Okay.
ano yan, hot off the press. Lalabas yung report na validated ni Ookla at validated ng mga telco, yung pinapangako ni Presidente, mas mabilis, mas mura, mas malawak na connectivity. So larangan naman ng pagkakalakal sa digital space, nung nagsimula kami last year, kami kasi ang regulator ng mga last mile delivery provider, yung mga PMEDES ng tinatawag. Ang tawag dyan is yung Parcel Express, Messengerial Express Service Provider. Yung mga nagdadala ng mga online shopping na binili mo sa online tapos dinadala sa bahay-bahay mo.
Alright.
Last year, 80% yan Colorum.
Oh,
80% yan Colorum. So, ginawa namin, nagbigay kami ng amnesty na we're extending hanggang end of May para 100% wala ng Colorum. Ngayon, mga 97% wala ng Colorum.
So they get the accreditation or something.
They
to that
get the
effect.
accreditation.
Okay.
Now, ang kagandahan yan, mas kampante ka doon sa parcel delivery mo. At hindi ka ba nagtataka ngayon kung madalas kang gumagamit ng mga bumibili ka sa online store?
Yes, okay.
Bihira na yung nagre-reklamo na nawawala ng package. At kung mawalan man, hindi na sila tumatagal doon sa pag-reclaim. Kasi may insurance na rin yung package.
Oh.
So yan, naayos yan. Itong first quarter lang, nag-meeting kami with the delivery service organization, yung mga Angkas Delivery, Grab Delivery, and LBC, di ba? Nagpasalamat kami kasi yung complaints na nakukuha namin na umaabot ng 1,500, less than 300 na lang per month.
So it dramatically dropped talaga in yung bilang.
Now, doon sa larangan ng quality ng serbisyo ng telco, eto, shout out tayo doon sa mga kaibigan natin sa mga telco. Isang example lang sa Kamanaba. Nung December, nagkaroon ng mga 3,500 na mga samut-saring issue. Alam mo, yung 3,500 as of 2 weeks ago, 0. Tapos most recently, kasi doon sa protecting cyberspace, nabalitaan nyo na naman, di ba, yung kinukull out namin yung mga platform. Malalaking platform yan. Telegram man, Facebook man, o Google, etc. Yung Roblox, isa sa malaki yan na platform na linalaruan ng mga bata.
Mga kabataan.
Maraming nagreklamo sa amin sa mga sexual predator na nagpapanggap na bata pero matatanda. So, sinulatan namin ang Roblox. Pumunta dito ang Roblox. In 2 weeks' time, internationally, binago ni Roblox yung policy nila at saka yung sistema. So, may iba kasing mga tao sinasabi, ban ka ng ban. Teka, wala pa kaming binaban. At saka hindi namin sila trinetreten.
Okay.
Kasi sa amin, ginagawa lang namin yung trabaho namin. May problema halimbawa si Roblox, susulatan namin. Sasabihin namin, Roblox, maraming nagreklamo sa amin. Ano ba yung sagot mo dito sa problema na
Can you look into this?
Can you look into this? And sana bilisan natin. Lumipad dito si Roblox, nakipag-usap, sabi nila ano ba yung mga problema, ano ba yung dapat nating gawin. Ang kagandahan kay Roblox, hindi nila tinanggi yung problema. Hindi na nagsabi na, may problema bang ganyan? Sabi nila, alam namin may problema.
Okay.
Ito yung ginagawa namin. At ito, Mr. Secretary, so dumalaw sa amin sila 2 weeks ago. Next week, pag alis nila, ilo-launch na namin. So last week, linaunch na nila.
So meaning?
Kung bakit bumili siya. Sabi nila, buti pa kayo, sinulatan nyo kami, nakipag-usap kayo sa amin.
Okay.
Kasi yung iba, hinuhusgahan na sila kaagad.
There.
Sinasabi, masama yung platform nyo. At tayo naman, hindi natin sinasabing isang platform masama. Pero hindi rin naman natin sinasabi na lahat ng platform may safety mechanisms.
Yes.
Especially pagka mga kabataan, sa kababaihan. So, in-explain namin sa kanila, naintindihan nila, doon nila nalaman na, ay, seryoso na pala to.
Yes.
In-implement nila.
Alright. Okay. Sige. Moving forward,
Sige.
Secretary. On digital governance, how much authority does DICT actually have to force government agencies to go digital and reduce red tape?
Yes. Yung tanong dyan, we've been mandated to help in digital governance. Okay. So, isa na yan sa mga cornerstone accomplishment ng departamento, yung eGov Super App.
Alright.
So, pag dinownload mo yung eGov Super App, pwede ka na mag-update ng lisensya mo. nandun na rin yung e-travel mo. Marami na. Actually, madami na nakakagamit ng eGov app na yon. Ang kagandahan pa niyan, mga 40 million na yung gumagamit nun.
Okay.
So, kalahati tayo ng population. And marami pa kami roll out. Now, hindi lang lahat yan masosolve ng eGov app. Marami pa. Example, yung National Single Window.
Yes.
Yung National Single Window, nakikipagtulungan tayo ngayon sa Department of Finance, Bureau of Customs. Oo. And shout out to all of them. Bago matapos ang kalahati ng taon, maglo-launch na tayo noong, alam mo ba, mga 40 plus or so agencies pa lang nakatuhog sa pag-i-import-export. Ngayon, with the National Single Window, pag nag-transact ka for import and export, hindi na ba yung mag-i-export ka ng saging? By the time makuha mo yung export permit, wala na yung saging dahil nabulok na,
Yes,
di ba? So, eto ngayon, bibilis na. Ang ginagamit nating sistema dyan ay yung ginagamit din ng Singapore. So kung magugulat ka,
It's basically far more advanced.
far more advanced. So, customs, akala mo hindi mag-transform. Pero isa sila sa nangunguna sa transformation yan. PhilHealth, for example. Nagpadala kami ng report on PhilHealth.
Okay.
Nag-digital transformation na rin si PhilHealth.
Alright.
Alam mo ba na dati, yung mga horror story na yung ospital hindi nababayaran 9 months na. Ngayon, yung average payout, less than a month. Tapos yung datos nila, mga 23 million claims ang lalabas na for 2026 projected from a base of 13 before. So, marami naman, pero malawak talaga yung kailangan pang ayusin, lalo na sa mga LGU. So, nangyayari yan. Siguro, as the DICT Secretary, I need to communicate more to people na, uy, meron na, may pag-asa na o-automate na. Hindi namin sinasabing tapos na at hindi namin sinasabing perpekto, pero may mga good news na darating in the next coming weeks on digital payments naman.
Now, itong usaping cybersecurity, it's also under your mandate, apparently.
Yes.
Are we treating it with the same urgency as infrastructure, or is it still reactive rather than proactive?
No.
Okay.
So, dalawang sides of the, ano yan. The
yes,
proactive portion of cybersecurity na sa DICT, yan yung aking Cyber Bureau at saka CERT. Kamiting ko lang sila kanina.
Okay.
Every week, tinitignan namin yung threats. Threat pa lang, dapat uma-action ka na. Baga, yan yung proactive, no?
Yes.
Inaagapan,
no? Okay.
Inaagapan, yan na yung mga AI, etc. Yung alam mo, hindi lahat 100% na pre-prevent. So, may mga 1 to 2% na nakakalusot. Pero lately, knock on wood, medyo okay-okay naman.
Okay.
Then, that's the proactive side. The reactive side, yan sila ED Aboy.
Okay.
Eto
the CICC.
Oo. In recent memory, narinig mo ba ang CICC ng huli ng illegal vape? Dati before ED Aboy, hindi mo maririnig na nagtanggal sila illegal gambling. Nagtanggal sila ng illegal drugs. Nagtanggal sila ng OSAIC-SSAM. Ngayon, super active yan. Kasi ang CICC, yan ang nagpro-provide ng forensics sa law enforcers. DOJ, NBI, at saka PNP. So, dun sa reactive, nako, wala na akong hihingin pa doon dahil kasama ko yan sila ED Aboy and team. Nangre-raid kami kasama mga pulis. Ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate, kunyari ginagamit sa fertilizer pero hindi. Dapat lisensyado ka para gumawa niyan. May gumagawa nun, delikado yun para gawing bomba minsan yun. Nang raid na kami ng mga illegal STL. Physical So ang trabaho namin, online mahuhuli namin. Yun nga sabi namin sa mga kriminal, huwag na kayong gumamit digital payments, mahuhuli namin kayo. Pag nahuli namin kayo dyan, magkakasama na kami ng pulis na pinupuntahan kayo physical.
Right.
Okay. So, siniseryoso namin ang lahat ng aspeto ng cybersecurity.
Hanggang doon sa enforcement, yung collaboration ninyo.
Ngayon, end-to-end na kami.
Yes, that's very good.
End-to-end na kami. Malinaw
with
yung...
the PAOK ito and the
Tama.
CIDG.
Tama.
Okay. Alright, Secretary, well, quite obviously, yung mandate ng DICT is napakalawak. So vast, no? And our mandates are only as strong as their execution.
Tama.
Where is the ICT succeeding right now, and where is it falling short?
I think where we're strong is ngayon mo lang makikita na DICT and the 3 attached agencies, nasa isang Viber group lang kami. Pag may isang issue, boom, usap-usap kami. So, pag may issue on the cyber side, na kailangan namin ng tulong ng mga telco para si NTC nandun kaagad. Pag may issue ng privacy, nandun si NPC kaagad. So, where we're succeeding is in our collaboration. At kung imbitahin kita, Ox, kung boss, makakapunta ka sa opisina namin, makikita mo, our offices right now, lumipat kami sa may Kamuning They're designed for people to talk to one another, collaborate. Kami lang yung departamento ata na shared bathroom kami lahat. Kasi may babae, may lalaki, pero yung mga senior executives walang sariling at wala kang makikitang kwarto ng senior executive na hindi mo makikita siya sa loob kasi lahat kami glass.
Ganda nun,
So collaborative kami.
Yes.
That's where we're succeeding. And hindi ko na pupuntahan yung mga numero na-accomplish ng departamento and attached agencies, but the area where we do digital bayanihan. Kasi ano naman ang sasabihin namin sa mga tao na, uy, mag-digital bayanihan tayo, public-private, kung sa loob, hindi. So, we're leading by example and we're all transparent. Now, where we could improve, usap din kami ng team ko, saan tayo pwede mag-improve? Baka we can improve on communicating. Ano na yung mga nagagawang good? Kasi marami. Marami. Kasi tama naman yung attitude, dapat mag-focus tayo sa trabaho, gawin natin yan, huwag maging epal. Usually ganun di ba? Pero hindi rin naman. Kasi ginagawa namin trabaho, may nagagawang maayos, it is also our accountability to report to the public.
Precisely.
And to tell the public, dito pumupunta yung taxes nyo. May nagagawa naman. Plus, give credit where credit is due to the telecom sector, to the cybersecurity professionals, etc. So, if there's an area that we need to improve on, yung mga bagay na ganito, we're talking, people that are watching your program, understand more kung ano ginagawa namin.
Yes. Kaya nga kami, we're very happy that you joined us today. Kasi
thank you.
It's also a potent venue for us to know kung anong meron po ngayon sa DICT. I'm sure ang dami sa mga kababayan that are very eager to know all of these programs. And then, ang isang pinaka-importante, mahalagang binanggit mo, you're doing it in a concerted effort.
Yes.
Yung collaboration is very important as you address every issue that you come across. Right. Okay. The man behind the mandate and how his journey shapes or how he protects the system. And this and more when the Game Changer returns. Babalik po tayo.
2025 was a meaningful year for Bingo Plus Foundation. As our purpose grew, it was time for a new chapter. Introducing DigiPlus Foundation.
Education is the bridge to opportunities. Through the Future Smart program, we empower learners and educators nationwide. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply learning for a better future.
Healthcare should come with no barriers. Kalusugan Plus delivers medical missions and Embrace Plus mental health support, which empower every Filipino through compassionate and accessible healthcare. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply healing. One patient, one community at a time.
Every dream deserves a chance. In Wish Plus, we grant wishes, empowering individuals, families, and communities together with their partners. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply hope, dignity, and possibilities.
Disasters don't wait. Through the Bayanihan Plus program, we mobilize immediate response and recovery efforts. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply the spirit of Bayanihan across the nation.
DigiPlus Foundation is committed to delivering on our promise to bring help within everyone's reach. When support becomes accessible, impact doesn't just grow, it multiplies.
Madali pa ba mag-cash in sa Bingo Plus?
Official partner na namin ng Bayad Center. Easy!
License ba yun ng Pagcor?
Kaya responsible gaming lagi.
Ang fun!
Gaming? Na may insurance?
Sa PhilFirst, insured ang wallet mo ng 1 million pesos.
Safe nga! Talaga namang...
Partnered with Bayad Center, licensed by Pagcor, protected by PhilFirst.
The best players succeed because they set boundaries. Every great athlete wins with control. Always have a game plan.
Mandates are clear, expectations are high. But leadership, that's where everything is tested. Secretary Aguda, yeah, we're back. And before we talk about protecting the system, let's talk about what prepared you to lead it.
Wow. Nothing prepares you for, story was, I got a call sa Malacanang. Then I went there. Tapos gulat ako within a week. Parang nandun na-announce na. So, there was really not a lot of preparation for the specific job. Now, siguro, one of the things I'm known for in the industry is I decide very fast. I'm known as Mr. Speedy. Pagka kailangan may gawin, you decide ka agad. I guess my parents have always taught me to be lagi kang handa. Kung ano man mangyari, hindi mo masabi yung ano. And I've worked for the telco industry, I've worked for banking, I've trained myself as a technical person and as a legal person. So, that prepared me to the, nung una chaos At saka konting...
Was it really chaotic?
Nung una kasi, nung dumating ako doon, parang wow. The circumstances where I started was, one, nagsisimula na yung budget.
Okay.
So, alam mo naman sa gobyerno, ang budgeting, di ba?
Paano mo ngayon nasisingit yung bagong programs para mapondohan?
Tama, hindi ko pa naiintindihan kung paano yung budget before. Ngayon ko lang na-realize ano yung BUR, di ba?
Okay.
Di ba? Ano yung GAA. So parang, tapos second, nagsisimula na yung midterm election. Ako pala yung Comelec Advisory Council. So kami ni ED Abu yung nagbabantay ng election. So parang sabi ko nga, you're changing tires while the car is moving very fast.
So, and that's not easy,
That's not easy. But sa akin, I give credit again to my father-in-law. Siya naman nagsabi sa akin. So sabi ko sa father-in-law ko, Dad, ano ba gagawin ko dito? Baka mamaya I make a decision, may ibang tao magagalit, may iba matutuwa. Sabi naman niya, walang decision sa gobyerno na lahat masaya. Sigurado because of some interest. So sabi niya lang sa akin, basta sigurado ka na you have your values intact. If you know your true north, if you have your compass ready and it always points to the right decision, makakapag-decision ka ng tama. So yun, siguro, in a nutshell, I didn't expect to be in government, pero nung dumating yan, the things that I've learned through my life and the people who have guided me, prepared me for that.
Your responsibility is so massive, it's huge, no? As a secretary, and such role carries national impact. Which experiences in your career do you believe? Ito yung tanong do you believe that prepared you the most for such a responsibility?
Well, the ICT to,
yes,
diba?
Yes.
So I spent almost 30 years in the telco sector.
Oh, okay.
So I started with name it, I've worked for all of them, Digital, Bayantel, PLDT, Globe.
Wow. So you've been around.
I've been around. So from the time na wireline telepono pa yan, to naging mobile. Then, my experience in banking. So doon sa banking naman, nagkaroon akong pananaw on financial inclusion. Pananaw ng pagnenegosyo, industriya. Yan, kasi ang isang trabaho ko dati noon, magpautang So, bago ka magpautang, i-assess mo muna yung isang negosyo, isang business, ano yung mga dynamics dyan. Then, sinuwerte kasi ako, I was recruited to participate in the Private Sector Advisory Council. So these are the private sector advisors to the President. And I was asked to lead the digital sector.
Okay.
So, yun, medyo nagkaroon ako ng 3 years view into how the President thinks, what he wants to happen from a digital standpoint, and the workings of the government. So yun, they all prepared me for the DICT role.
That's why you even got the master in fintech, no? Ang dami pala itong pinagdaanan mo.
Ang dami.
Plus nakatulong din yung banking experience.
Ay, nako, laking bagay yun. Kasi when we did digital banking, doon ko na-realize na...
Is that when it all started, yung mga panahon niya?
Which one? The digital? Yung app?
Yes.
So I used to work for Union Bank, and I think when you
that.
mention Union Bank, sasabihin ng mga tao, wow, yan yung digital bank. So it started there, and nakita ko na, wow, okay pala, no? Ang digital, hindi lang pang telecoms, pwede rin pala pang financial sector.
Right. Parang if my memory serves me right, parang yan lang ang bangko noon na pwede yung PayPal mag-transfer ng ano.
Yun, tama.
Digitally.
Unang PayPal,
unang... Sa eBay and to PayPal, then to Union Bank.
Naalala mo pa.
Kasi I was doing eBay before.
Tapos electronic check na siya.
Yes. Naalala ko. Yeah. Okay, Secretary. Behind every leader are key influences who are the individuals or who are the or figures that shaped your thinking when it comes to technology and public service.
Sige. So sa akin, on the technology, syempre nandiyan na yung mga idols mo sa from Microsoft to Google. Nandiyan na yan. Elon Musk and idol ko yung mga yan. Yung on the local scene, ang mga idol ko talaga, the likes of Ernest Cu, the likes of Manny Pangilinan, Dennis Uy of Converge, Tito Ortiz, Edwin. Ito yung mga, they're not necessarily technical, they're business leaders, pero alam nila yung pananaw ng digital and paano makakatulong sa negosyo. So, okay yun. Idol ko yun. On the public service side, the 3 years that I've served as private sector advisor to the President, idol si Presidente. Kasi, I get to interface with him dati, and I will prepare my presentation materials talaga. Then, when I present to him, digital sector, he's gone through the materials, he's read it, nakikinig siya, and he will hear you out.
Parang consultant ang dating mo doon.
Parang consultant. Pero ang madali ka kasing maging consultant to somebody who's very receptive to your idea. At the same time, klaro sa kanya kung ano yung gusto niya mangyari. Di ba?
You must be in the same wavelength with the President then.
More or less on the technical side, di ba? And what needs to happen. I think yung pananaw ni Presidente on AI, blockchain, nako, swak kami doon.
It's very receptive.
Yes. He really believes na, eto, nag-uusap kami, yung AI kasi, maraming yung mayaman sa AI. Pero sabi nga ni Presidente, there is an area where you create new consumers using AI. Example, pagka lahat na ng tao ngayon, marunong nang gumamit ng AI, sandali na lang yan, ano yung bagong negosyo, ano yung bagong consumerism? Isip, ang lalim nun.
Yes.
Considering na hindi biro yung trabaho niya, buong bansa yung tinitignan niya. Pero to deep dive into the economic, political, and societal impact of a technology. Ako, I have the highest respect for him in terms of yung vision niya in the digital space.
Yung tanong na yun, malalim talaga.
Malalim. Ay, sabi sa'yo. So, anecdote, no? He came back from APEC, Korea. Okay. Then I got called to his house, his residence. Sabi ko, naku, anong kasalanan na nagawa? Kasi first time ko Kasama ko si Secretary Solido, DOST, DICT. So naisip ko, baka may kailangan lang. He said, ito yung sinare niya sa amin. I think I can share this naman. He was taking notes doon sa APEC conference where kasama niya yung mga Asian leaders. Was taking notes. Ang nagsasalita doon is about the future of AI. So imagine mo, our president, parang dutiful student, nagte-take notes. Sabi niya, alam mo, I took notes of everything that AI will impact in our lives. I ran out of paper. So that was his realization na this chairmanship of ASEAN should be used for preparing ASEAN for the AI future. Kaya nga tayo, Asian AI MSME.
Okay.
Yan yung summit natin. So he's really into
So yun na rin yung
the
tema,
AI.
no?
Yun yung tema. And ano pa hanapin mo from a technology practitioner kung ganyan yung pananaw ng boss mo? Talagang, wow, swak tayo dyan.
He's really interested in it. Kasi obviously, yung pinag-utos niya talaga yung digitalization ng government agencies. All right. Well, as the country becomes more digital, risks also grow. And now, how prepared is the Philippines right now to handle cyber threats at scale? Siyempre, dyan, ang dami talaga niyan.
So that's very timely, no? So that's one of the conversations I've been having with the president also.
Yes.
Kasi while we're taking advantage of the uses of AI for productive use at good use, on the flip side, paano pag ginamit si AI ngayon sa masamang paraan?
Yes.
Diba? So
na hindi malayong
mangyari. Baka ginagawa
na
sa financial scam, for example. Or alam na natin sa deepfake nagagawa yan. Pero yan yung mga tipong madali mong makita na hindi to totoong tao. Pero paano kung yung AI nakapasok sa sistema ng power, water, telco? So yun.
Medyo critical yun.
Now, ang tanong dyan is, are we prepared for that future? Ang sagot ko lang dyan is, we just have to always be on our toes, be vigilant, and sa akin, lagi ko sinasabi, cybersecurity is a community play. Dapat sama-sama tayo. My job now is to increase the awareness of the critical sectors, finance, power, telco, industries, on the possibility that AI will now be used for cybercrimes. So, yun yung ginagawa namin. May mga solution naman si DICT dyan. Marami na kaming trigger na initiatives, and I'll be presenting and showing that to the financial markets also.
Dapat talaga itaas yung, actually, hindi lang yung awareness, yung consciousness talaga ng tao dyan pagdating sa aspeto na yan.
Tsaka may ano pa yan, may isang visit kami ni Presidente with sa New York. Nakausap namin si JP Morgan head, di ba? Ang prediction nila for job security in the future, one, kailangan yung mga tao matrain sa AI.
Yes.
Alam mo yung pangalawa? Yung pangalawa is cybersecurity. Kasi AI sa AI, sino yung gumigit na doon? Tao. So yung tao normally ang makakahanap ngayon ng problema doon sa AI. So cybersecurity as a profession can actually be the next engineering, nursing. Di ba dati ang dami tayong mga engineers. Tapos dumami yung mga nurses natin. Tapos dumami yung mga programmers. Cybersecurity yung susunod.
So ito talaga yung emerging, kung sa degree, dapat may course na offer talaga.
Meron na yan. I've been working with the
Has it started already?
Well, si CHED has a program. Si Chair Agrupis is working on it. We actually have an offer from South Korea, which was extended to our president by the South Korean president when we visited here, to train 1,000 to 10,000 people. Tapos, train the trainer ang darating dito. Then, we'll provide the courses. Marami naman tayong mga kaalyadong bansa na gusto mag-provide ng formal training for us. Kailangan lang natin kunin siya.
And I think dapat nga maging part siya ng curriculum talaga
may plano rin si DepEd. Si Secretary Sani naman may pinaplano na from elementary, sunod-sunod na kasi kailangan you start them young.
Yes.
Paakyat hanggang high school. So pagdating mo ng high school, pwede ka ng cyber professional.
Lalo na kasi mga bata, mga digital natives yan. So
O yung mga nag-aaral ng Roblox.
Yes, exactly. Kasama na yung mga chikiting ko ron.
Kasama na yan.
May ako nagwo-warn doon sa Roblox kasi
Kasama na yan.
I've been forewarned by the news, pero yeah. But anyway. Okay. Filipinos are increasingly exposed to scams and breaches and online frauds. What concrete protections are in place today, and are we still vulnerable?
We're always vulnerable naman, di ba? But sa akin nga, self-care is important. One, huwag ka mag-click-click ng mga links, di ba?
Yes.
Pag may tumawag sa'yo, verify kung sino siya.
Okay.
Don't share your OTP.
Yes.
Yung mga bagay-bagay na yun, basic na yun. So, dapat meron yan. Now, on the DICT, CICC side, si DICT, as I've said, proactively hands down yung mga threats. Si CICC naman, hands down the criminals na. Yan yung mga tipong na patunayan na nag-try magkaroon ng illegal transaction, hinahabol naman nila yan. So, nandyan yan. And, ang cybersecurity kasi, you cannot relax. It's always, sa akin, always better for us to be vigilant and paranoid, lalo na pag mga password at saka mga financial transactions.
Hindi pwedeng complacent ka lang.
As soon as you think you're no longer vulnerable, mabibictimize ka. Kaya dapat on your toes.
So when in doubt,
just be safe, di ba? Kung duda kayo dun sa tumawag sa inyo, nag-message sa inyo, nag-email sa inyo, nagbigay ng link, pag-isipan nyo ng konti, di ba?
What will change and what kind of digital Philippines will emerge? The Game Changer will return after this short break.
2025 was a meaningful year for Bingo Plus Foundation. As our purpose grew, it was time for a new chapter. Introducing DigiPlus Foundation.
Education is the bridge to opportunities. Through the Future Smart program, we empower learners and educators nationwide. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply learning for a better future.
Healthcare should come with no barriers. Kalusugan Plus delivers medical missions and Embrace Plus mental health support, which empower every Filipino through compassionate and accessible healthcare. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply healing. One patient, one community at a time.
Every dream deserves a chance. In Wish Plus, we grant wishes, empowering individuals, families, and communities together with their partners. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply hope, dignity, and possibilities.
Disasters don't wait. Through the Bayanihan Plus program, we mobilize immediate response and recovery efforts. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply the spirit of Bayanihan across the nation.
DigiPlus Foundation is committed to delivering on our promise to bring help within everyone's reach. When support becomes accessible, impact doesn't just grow, it multiplies.
Madali pa mag-cash in sa Bingo Plus?
Sa Bingo Plus, official partner na namin ng Bayad Center. Easy!
License ba yun ng Pangcor?
Sa Bingo Plus, kaya responsible gaming lagi.
Ang fun!
Gaming? Na may insurance?
Sa Bingo Plus, sa PhilFirst, insured ang wallet mo ng 1 million pesos.
Safe nga! Talaga namang...
sa Bingo Plus, partnered with Bayad Center, licensed by PAGCOR, protected by PhilFirst. Sa Bingo Plus.
The best players succeed because they set boundaries. Every great athlete wins with control. Always have a game plan.
All right, we're back on the Game Changer, Secretary. We've talked about your journey, your influences, and the weight of responsibility that comes with your role or with this role, and we've laid out the risks that come with a rapidly evolving digital landscape. Let's now turn to the most important question. Okay, what will actually change? Secretary Aguda, we've laid out the challenges, right? And now let's talk about the execution.
Sige.
All right. What are your top 3 priorities moving forward?
Yun. So, connectivity. Kailangan maramdaman na ng tambayan na mas mabilis ang internet,
Okay.
mas mura siya, at mas malawak. Just give you some numbers lang sa mas malawak. Nung nagsimula kasi ako, may 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G.
Okay.
So, sabi ko, kung internet yan at saka digital connection, tanggalin mo yung 2G, 3G. Medyo masakit yun kasi yung mga telco sinasabi, hindi, malaki na yung coverage namin. Area, mga 80-90%. Oo, pero hindi digital yan. Hindi yan, ano.
Yes.
So, nung pina-retire namin, together ng NTC, ang 2G, 3G, nandun na tayo sa 5G. Ngayon yung 5G, dapat umabot tayo sa mga 90% the whole country before the end of the president's term.
Pero where are we right now, by the way?
Yun ang kagandahan. Kaya nga, yun dapat original, Swerte naman. Nag-usap kami ni Globe. Si Globe, shout out to Globe, linaunch nila yung direct to sell. Yung direct to sell, may normal ka na cellphone, hindi mo kailangan ng cell site, nandun ka lang, makikita mo yung satellite, may signal ka na. It works on a 4 or 5G phone. So, by end of this year, 100% na tayo sa mobile connectivity. So, yun, medyo sinuwerte yun. Baga nga sa, persistent kami, pero may tsamba. Yan. On fiber, I think we need to go from 50% household to 70%. Lahat yan, sa pag-push ni Presidente. Now, on digital jobs. Digital jobs kasi, sabi nga namin, yung BPO center ngayon, nagsimula yan call center industry. From call center, naging BPO. Ngayon yung BPO dapat pumunta na sa bago. Sabi ko nga, robotics process operations na eh. Yung bang maraming mga tao sa ibang bansa gumagamit na ng robot. Ang hindi nila alam, nagtre-train ng robot tao din. Kaya ng mga Pinoy yan. So before the end of the president's term, makikita mo, we will have a thriving robotics business process outsourcing sa Pilipinas. Doon sa cybersecurity, ang aspiration namin ni Presidente, 100,000 registered cyber professionals. Yan, pag nagawa mo yan. Tapos, wala ka ng pila dapat sa gobyerno. Ang digital payment is the normal way you pay government and not the exception anymore. So yun yung tingin ko na dapat sukatan ng success after 2028.
Okay. In consonance to that, what is the first concrete improvement the public will experience under your leadership?
Well, yung General Appropriations Act na ilagay na sa blockchain. Hindi mo na mababago yun. 2026 budget has been uploaded on the blockchain.
Sa blockchain, okay.
Oo, so pwede nang inspect ng mga tao yon. Pag may nagbago, etc. Hindi na madali, hindi na mahirap.
So ganun ka-transparent na yan, ha?
Transparent na. Now, 3 major agencies like SSS, GSIS, and DPWH have already launched their transparency portal. Siyempre kasama ng CDICT, ng apat. Makikita nila ngayon, pag gusto mo malaman, ano ba ginagawa ng agency na to sa pera ng bayan, mag-AAI ka na lang. As I mentioned earlier, eGov app, 40 million Filipinos are using it already. So yun yung mga hopefully nararamdaman ng tao. And the parcel delivery service.
Yeah, and those are really concrete, no? Na-enjoy na ngayon ng marami sa ating mga Pinoy. Okay. Digitalization is often presented as the solution to inefficiency. How will DICT ensure that government services become faster, simpler, and corrupt resistant? Secretary.
Faster. Dapat they can transact anywhere, everywhere, 24/7. So, e-travel mo, pwede mong i-apply doon sa phone mo. Mag-apply ka for the renewal of your license sa phone mo. Okay. Corruption-free, just by making everything transparent. So, yung mga bidding ngayon, pag makikita mo sa mga agency, sinimulan namin sa DICT na pag magbibidding ka, naka-live
live stream,
live stream, tapos lahat magpa-participate, etc. Then may kasamang transparency portal. So that's the only way. Pag mas maraming matang nakabantay at yung datos hindi mo na kailangang mag-file ng Freedom of Information, nandyan na. Mababawasan 'yan.
All right. Now let's talk about inclusivity. How will you ensure that digital transformation reaches communities that are still offline or underserved, especially those in the far-flung areas and yung mga last mile. Especially schools, Secretary, dami niyan. Okay.
Yung sa schools, DepEd for example, we collaborate with DepEd, and ang pangako nga namin pareho ni DepEd as our commitment to the President also, pag nagpasukan na this year, lahat ng mga schools kasama doon sa mga GIDA areas may connectivity na.
Okay.
Si CHED naman, we're working closely with Chair Agrupis na lahat ng mga state universities and colleges will have high-speed fiber connectivity. Now, lahat yan is in partnership with the private sector.
Okay.
Yan yung sagot namin para lahat ng mga... May napuntahan ako recently sa Oriental Mindoro.
Okay.
Doon sa area where there were rebels. Iba yung dating pag may connectivity. Nagbabalik loob yung mga rebelde. Doon naman sa Occidental Mindoro, I went to a mountain where maiiyak ka eh. Ito yung mga indigenous population natin, mga Mangyans. Nakausap namin yung isang nanay, sabi niya, pag nagkasakit yung anak niya, umiiyak na lang siya. Hindi niya alam kung ano gagawin. Kasi, ano sila, wala silang tsinelas ha. Maglalakad sila for 2 hours pababa ng bundok. Hindi na nila alam mangyari. Nung nagkabit kami ng connectivity doon, sa kanila panatag sila. Kasi pag nagkaroon ngayon ng problema, nagkasakit, yung mga anak or what have you, natatawagan nila yung barangay. And yung barangay ang umaakyat sa kanila na. That's the power of connectivity. First hand, ramdam ko yung impact ng connectivity, lalo na dun sa GIDA areas. Kaya, ang focus namin ngayon talaga, Batanes, Sulu, Occidental Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro, etc.
Well, I'm happy to know that, Secretary. All right. Ito naman, Sec Henry, it's time to put your leadership to the test.
Okay.
Okay, but this time, in the classroom.
Okay, sige.
Okay, well, all right, so we call it, it's some sort of a game. So welcome to Aguda or Aguda. Mechanics, we will present 5 personalities, okay? For each one, you will give a grade. Okay, A for excellent or fully aligned. Good. Yeah, okay, acceptable but needs improvement. The is like not enough or needs serious work. That's why you call it Aguda.
Okay,
right?
sige.
Okay, and most importantly, you must explain your grade. Okay, let's get the ball rolling, Secretary. All right. First, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and his administration's digital transformation agenda.
Ay, madali yan. AA+++ pa yan.
Okay.
And I'll explain.
All right.
I've worked for several CEOs in the past.
Okay.
I've known the
in
best.
the private sector.
In the private sector, I've known the best of them. The ones that led transformation in the telecom sector, the ones that led the transformation in the banking sector.
Okay.
I couldn't ask for a better president to lead digital transformation. One, he appreciates technology. He knows technology. In fact, you know that he used to code. So, nagko-code siya dati sa mainframe side.
Okay.
Eh, syempre, iba yung naging career path niya, di ba? And his sons are into technology.
Well, I didn't know that.
Also.
I'm surprised that he used to do that.
Na-surpresa din ako eh. That's why he has that keen understanding of technology. And third, he's very supportive. In fact, the thing that I appreciate the most with the president is he believes, like I do, that technology can better people's lives.
Okay.
He wants that executed and done. Yun yun. Oo, dapat maramdaman ng tao yung technology na bumubuti yung buhay niya.
All right. So the next individual where you should apply your grading system is Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center Executive Director Renato Aboy Paraiso. And his war against cybercrimes.
Ayan, isa pang A+ din yan. Explain ko.
Malakas tong kuyang Aboy.
Ay, oo. Okay. Explain ko yan.
All right.
So, si Edie Aboy used
Okay.
to be in DICT as the spokesperson of DICT.
Okay.
So, noong, kasi when I inherited the DICT and CICC, bakante yung CICC.
Okay.
So, I don't know him before, but napansin ko, wow, okay insightful yung mga ano niya. Then, I didn't know, akala ko nga tech siya abogado pala siya. So, attorney, spokesperson, ganyan. So, sabi ko, oh, Yusek, kaya mo to CICC? Aba, walang pag-aatumbali. Yeah, go. Game na game. And, you know, this I must say, I couldn't have gotten a better CICC guy. Kasi he's a lawyer, he's a spokesperson where he can articulate very well what they're doing.
Yes.
He understands tech and very savvy siya sa workings of the law enforcement. Yun, nagulat ako doon kasi CICC kasi is the chair of Cybercrime Investigation Coordinating Council. And sa ilalim niya is NBI, PNP, Cyber, and DOJ, Cyber. And he can coordinate the law enforcement agents. So, we don't have subpoena powers in CICC.
Okay.
But he is able to, mahirap yun i-traverse mo yung turf ng ibang agency. He is able to facilitate and coordinate law enforcement action.
He's got a good network in there.
Ay, nako. Ngayon, nagugulat ako sa lawak na network niya.
Kakaganon niya yun
Kakaganon niya yun. Kakaganon niya yun. No,
Okay.
I'm very proud that I'm working alongside with him.
Yeah. At this juncture, Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro on her fight against disinformation and fake news.
Ay, nako yan. Heart yan. Love ko yan si Yusek Claire.
Okay.
Alam mo,
Alright.
he's a very good palace spokesperson. And unfortunately, siya yung laging inaatake. Kawawa naman, di ba? And every time na lang nag-usap kami ni Yusek Claire, maano talaga, masakit ang mga fake news at nakakagulo yan. And yan yung aming advocacy na iparating sa taong bayan yung totoong news.
Yes.
And I think she's doing a fantastic job. She's being able to articulate it. And she's able to deflect yung mga issues na hindi naman issue ba't yung pinalalaki, di ba? So, sa akin, I love what she's doing, pero at the same time, wawa naman, she's doing her job very well.
Siya yung target ulit ng
Siya
mga...
yung nata-target. Kaya nga hearts ako dyan kasi isa yan sa talagang herald of truth and fair play. I love her also.
Okay, sige. The last but not necessarily the least, no? Yung question na to, Secretary. What is the one change you will fight for no matter the resistance? And in one line, what makes you a true game changer?
Okay. Konektadong Pinoy. Every Filipino has a right to be connected to the digital world. That I will fight for.
Thank you very much, Secretary Guda.
Thanks.
I'm truly honored to have you in this show.
Thank you.
Salamat din sa panahon at
Maraming
oras.
salamat din.
I know you're very busy, but you're able to make it here. Thank you.
Salamat.
A connected nation is a competitive nation. A secure digital space is a protected people. And a responsive government is a trusted one. The path forward is not easy, but it is necessary. And as the Philippines moves deeper into the digital age, one thing remains certain. Change must not only be promised, it must be delivered. I am Ox Baliado, and this is The Game Changer.